I do.
Uh-huh.
So, I am just starting out, and I'm currently designing my own site, and I'm making use of a platform called Wix. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Of course, I love Wix. Absolutely. I think it's so user intuitive and friendly. So
I can't really afford a designer or web designer, and so marketing is all new to me. And so what I would love to do with your permission is share the template of the site that I'm just starting to create, and get your feedback, like your instant feedback on what do you notice, what do you think I could work on, if you're willing.
Absolutely. So you'll just go ahead and share your screen and pull that up. While you're doing that, I want to ask you, who is your target market? Who are you speaking to? What are their pain points?
Okay, so my target market is women, and particularly women in transition that are looking to create more joyous lives. So I am, a divorce survivor, thriver, and it took me literally 2 years to relearn how to smile. And it was a long process, but I am creating a life that is filled with joy, where I'm doing things that I never imagined that I would do. And in fact, the first image, like this is the landing page. Can you see this? This is the landing page of my website that I'm currently creating. That is me.
Do me a huge favor. So you should be able to go in the top here, you should be able to go to preview. Perfect. If you could click preview, that way I can see it clearly.
Okay. So again, can you see it clearly now?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, I am not a designer, and this is all new for me. That's an image of me standing at the top of Half Dome in Yosemite.
Which I have hiked. So I don't want you to scroll. I want you to stay exactly where you are at. So this area that we're looking at right now is something that is called above the fold. So it's just like with the newspaper, when you fold it in half, the top part that is above the fold. In truth, people do not scroll. They do, but the first impression, this is where you want to wow them. So looking at this right now, what do you see?
What do I see? I see myself. I see a woman standing on top of a massive boulder. So
if I am going to your site, the first thing I'm going to want to do is be given direction. I'm going to want to given a single option, a button. I would put a button in this area. I like empowering you to turn I could never into yes, I can. That I would bring up, of course. And so let's talk about that. Empowering you to turn I could never into yes, I can.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Well, so for example, I built from hand a horse stable. I built a barn on my property. I was told when I was growing up, I would never, I grew up in a pretty impoverished family. We would never get a horse. So I got my first horse at age 40, and I named her Never.
I love that.
Yeah, and then on the wall of the barn that I built and lifted and raised by hand, I put all the nevers that I was always told. I burned them into the wood. You'll never be able to have children. You'll never graduate from college. So I have a wall of, I've since sold the home in the country, but there was a wall that of all the nevers I was told, and I'm terrified of heights. And so I was told I would never, ever be able to stand on the edge of a 2,000-foot cliff. I would never be able to have children. I have 4. I would never graduate from college because people in our family didn't even usually graduate from high school. All of these nevers that I've been told, and you'll never run a marathon because you hate running and you haven't run more than a mile in your life. And even though I vomited at the end of it, I ran a half marathon without stopping. And I had, yes, I can, painted on the back of my t-shirt. So what I'm trying to do is reach an audience of women who have been told never, and help empower them into reimagining their lives where they can move toward joy and overcome obstacles and challenges that they never thought they could.
I love that. I will tell you, I absolutely love it. I love this message. I love so many things. There's a couple things I want I would say that will benefit you here, and that is of course moving this statement up and making it front and center. Right now it's cut off.
What did you mean by button? Putting a button there?
So we as human beings on the internet, we want to be told where to go. We don't want to have to think about what the next step is or figure it out. At every time you give people several choices, or you give them more than one option, you will lose people in that moment. By putting just a single button that directs them to whatever the next step is for you, and whether that's getting a hold of you, planning a meeting, or doing a discovery meeting, any of these things, or session, I should say. Whatever you want the next step for your user to take is where that button should take them. Does that make sense?
So would that be in the horizontal line where it says you are?
I would put it right below yes I can.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Where I would put it, like right. So if you scroll down a little, and I would move this message up, and then right below that yes I can, I would say something that speaks to that, something along the lines of want to know how you can, or learn how you can, or something along those lines that speaks to your brand and your message. That is, and I would put it in. It looks like your palette right now is blues. I mean, it's pretty much, we're in a blue world, right? Do you have a pop of color that you want, or a color you hate or like, let's say?
Do I have? I mean, obviously there's a pop in the
so red. We as human beings, if we're looking at neuromarketing, tend to click green buttons and red buttons the most. Second to that, we click orange buttons and yellow buttons. So I would put it, bring in that pop of color right there on your shirt would be fantastic for a button. I would also consistently have all your buttons be that color. Again, it's that subconscious training of this is where I click, this is where I go next, this is very clear. Then you can leave your menu as it is, because that red button is going to really stand out. It seems like such a little thing, but it will make such a big difference. It will also get people to the next step, and whatever that next step is. The idea is you want them to take the clearest, straightest, clearest and straightest path to you and hiring your services. Whatever that is, whatever that first step in your services is. If it's a discovery call, if it's a group coaching session, it's different. It varies coach to coach. So that really depends on you figuring out what your sales funnel is, essentially.
So all of this stuff up here, you are, I am, all of that stuff could go below the fold, you're saying?
So let's just look at the menu right now. So you are, I am, okay, I think I'm understanding that I am is your about me, right? Schedule a free call, services, let's do this. Let's do this, I am confused by, I'm not sure what that is. Schedule a free call, I get that might be probably the first step for people, I would imagine, right?
Okay. Yep, so that might go in the button down below, yes, I can.
Absolutely. So that's where I would have that button lead you. Okay. You're going to want, in every section, this is true for everybody, in every section of your website, you want a button that will take them to the next step. That is just the nature. By the way, your color, choosing blue is a great color. Every color has a lot of psychology to it, and I'm a big fan of neuromarketing. And with blues, you put people at ease. It gives people the concept of trust, wisdom. Banks use blue because of that. You'll notice like every bank pretty much has a blue in their logo, and that is because blue innately puts people at comfort. It slows down the heart rate. It's a very calming color, so good choice.
Okay, and then this is where I was gonna. That's my dog. This is.
And that's the other thing too, is we want to see your face on this homepage, and I want to see you front and center. I want to know who Storylyn is. As your user, I want to know and connect with you immediately. It's very important.
Are you saying not use this image then?
Yeah, you can use that image. I would, but I would have somewhere very quickly below you, like who you are, and that I want to attach to you because you are your brand. Okay. Mm-hmm. If coaches, this is something we've got to, having a face of your brand is critical. That's what people connect with. That's what they bond with. You can make your clients your face, but that's going to change and change. If you want consistency is key in marketing because it builds trust. Get your face out there and make it be one of the first things people see, for sure.